Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bristol Township Zoning Hearing Board. Whoa. All right, I'd like to get started by standing. Please remove your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let me introduce you to a few people. Sitting in for our solicitor, Ken Fetterman, we got Mike Hanley, our stenographer, Cindy Oliveira. We also have with us Bob McTeague, he's the director of L&I, and Bo Fleming is the supervisor for planning and building in the township. Mr. Secretary, call the board, please.
Gerard Lycon.
Here.
Jim McMahon.
Here.
Colleen Dunn.
Here.
Ed Murphy here.
And just for the record, Mark DeMarcus has an excused absence today. So I'd like to, into the record, we have a couple continuances and one withdrawal of an application. This is number 4 on the agenda. This is Surfin Carreno, 1701 Maple Avenue. Dear Mr. McTeague, I am writing you on behalf of Surfin Carreno, the applicant, in connection with the above referred application pending before the Bristol Township Zoning Hearing Board. Since the submission of my client's application, we have received an updated survey plan showing the proposed removal and portions of the existing subject garage that will maintain the side yard setback of the prior accessory structure on site. However, in reviewing the survey, it is clear that the relief requested by the applicant was incorrect. A copy of the update survey is attached. And this is, I'm not going to continue. It's very truly yours, Bryce H. McGuigan. So that's number 4. So I'm going to ask the board for a motion for a continuance on this application.
I'll make a motion for continuance.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Okay, number 5 on the agenda is Joshua Lepore. I mean, sorry, I'm 6. Joshua Lepore, P.O. Box 134, Ben Salem. And it says, this is written to our solicitor, Ken Fetterman. As noted, I represent Josh and Tara Lepore with respect to the application of 1557 Newport Road. At this time, we respectfully requesting this matter be carried to the next meeting to allow for additional plan revision to reduce impervious at the property. Thank you for your consideration. Let me know if you need anything further. This also shall function as a time waiver under the MPC. Mike McGinnis, Esquire. I'm asking the board for a motion for a continuance.
I'll make a motion to continue.
I'll second it.
Call the board, please.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
This is number 8 on the agenda. This is a withdrawal of an application. This is to Ms. Costello. Besco Outdoor Media request to withdraw the pending application before the zoning hearing board. Thank you for your continued courtesies in this matter. Should you need anything further, please let me know. David Americaner. This, I believe, is they're having issues with PennDOT, Bob, is that correct? All right, so, and that is it for that. So let's go to number 1 on the agenda. Irvin McFadden, 135 Golden Ridge Drive, Levittown. Please come on up, sir. Hold on 1 second, sir. Do you need a certain month for the continuance? Is that what you're asking for, Mike, or no? No? Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Say your name for the record, please.
Irvin McFadden.
Thank you.
Mr. McFadden, do you have your proof of notice
Sure, could you bring it up, please?
Also have copies of the posted notice.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Now it's green. So the notice on the door was posted on the door in the shed before the 25th of January.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it? We don't want me to-
Oh, that's
Well,
it?
I have pictures of other neighbors, over 10 properties, corner lots with sheds on the side. So it's very common, but it's not a problem. So I'm hoping that you would grant me the variance as well as my other neighbors who have corner lots and place the shed on the side. Now, when I get the permit, I have approvals from the sewer because there is an easement there and have sewer setback from all that. So that's my petition, asking you to grant me the variance to put my shed there.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I just have one question. Are you putting a new shed there, or you're relocating a shed?
I'm relocating a shed that's already on the property.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else from the board have any questions?
Yeah, I got some questions. Bob, his property, that's a corner lot, I see, it's a huge house on a corner. That's all impervious, am I correct? It's all, everything's covered on that property. Is there enough room for the shed without going for, a waiver for impervious?
Yeah, there's no, he's within his, percentage for.
Is it
impervious.
within?
Yes, yep.
Because I was over there the other day looking at it, there's a lot of stuff going on in that corner. You're just looking to move that shed where, to the backyard or over by the driveway?
Over by the driveway, sir.
The existing shed, right?
Yes, sir.
How long,
Go ahead, Drew.
how long has that shed been there?
In its original spot, it's been there for years. Originally, it was back in the corner, but they said we had to move it from there because of the easement and the sewer. It was
Okay.
too close to the manhole cover, so we had to move it from there. And then I decided to move it from the side that the driveway, the original driveway side is over to the side where the street side is. So that's, I'm just, like I said, I was just moving the shed that was already in place. And I've had the shed for as long as, I've been there over 25 years. I think I moved there, my son was 3 and he's 28 now. And the shed has been there since then. A shed has been there. We've replaced it several times, but.
So you're not gonna rebuild that shed, you're just moving it?
I will probably have to rebuild it at some point in time because the roof is starting to leak and I can't stop it from leaking but I want to rebuild it in that place.
But today, you're here for just to move it?
So let me be clear, the shed has already been moved and I think that's what got me in trouble. So the place that it is now is where I want it to stay.
That's where you want it to stay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's where I want it to stay.
Okay, I thought you were moving it.
I'm sorry, yes, that's the place that I wanted to stay, and so I originally moved it without a permit. Now, when I first moved there, I got a permit for a swimming pool in that very same location. And I came here and it was okay for me to put a swimming pool in that location. I couldn't imagine you would not let me put a shed there, but, we are
Okay,
here.
thank you.
Anybody else from the board? Bob, anything to add?
Nothing to add, Jim.
Okay, anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this project? Okay. I need a motion from the board.
I'll give a motion for it.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Hold the board.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Gerard Lycon,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Okay. Just remember, everybody, you need a permit for everything, so, all right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, up next, Robert Johnson and Dominic Morano, 514 Western Avenue. Please come on up.
Good evening. I have a presentation if so needed. Probably just me. I do. I have also.
Yeah, if you can hand those up to me. Yep. Thank you.
Oh, one more, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Myself and my husband are coming before you guys. We are hoping to get approval to put up a 10-foot fence. We already have an existing 6-foot fence there. We're looking to put a 10-foot fence where that 6-foot fence is to increase our privacy. I do have a PowerPoint. Sorry, guys. I should have got a USB port. I didn't even think about it. It's in the email too. I have it. My phone's right there. Yeah, thank you, guys. So just title page, our presentation for our 10-foot fence. So the fence would go right here, where I said the existing 6-foot fence is. The property line is our yard and then Wes Retzler's yard. It would just go, it wouldn't even be the 75 feet. It would, come where it needs to appease the township and where it would stop. Thank you. So we're requesting it because we have an ongoing problem with our neighbor. We get harassed and we are stalked. Our next slide, so down at the bottom, I have it already pulled up. I have proof he has already been charged with harassment and stalking against us, and he continues to do so. We have more proof if you would like it, but we're just here.
I mean, I could be wrong here, but I don't think that's really necessary.
That's fine.
I mean, that's just me. I mean,
That's fine.
maybe if people from the board want to hear about it, but,
Well, I just wanted to give proof if you guys need a reason why we need
You can give the
it.
background, but I wouldn't, I don't think you need to mention no names, okay? Is everybody fine with that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, proceed. You done? That's it?
That's it. I just need approval for a 10-foot fence, please.
Okay. So what makes you think this 10-foot fence is gonna stop the harassment?
It will increase our privacy. It's not going to stop the harassment.
Okay.
It will increase. We have had to break, never mind, I'm not saying anything. We're hoping it will increase our privacy. That is what our hope is.
All right.
Will
Anybody
stop
else have any
anything-
questions?
I have a question.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. I have a couple of questions. We don't have any dwellings other than this, so my question to you would be, would this fence block anybody's driveway or your driveway from view for backing out, backing around corners?
No, it would not.
Any other safety concerns if this were granted due to the height difference?
No, the fence is just on both sides of the yard. There's no driveways, there's no backing out of it. It would not. And I know, the gentleman over here I've seen and could attest that it will not
It's just hard for us to see over here. I just was making sure that it wasn't
That's
going
fine.
to be a detriment to somebody while they were driving.
It would not,
So
no.
it's not gonna interfere on any sight lines?
It would not.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? have
Yeah,
any
I do.
question? Ma'am, sit, we'll call on you in a minute, okay?
If this gets approved, Jim, it'll be at the front facade of the house. It can't go past that.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Gerard.
Colleen, I did go out to that site. It won't bother anything. It's kind of in between trees and everything. It's not even near the road unless they run it up to the road. But there's nothing that's gonna block.
I didn't get a chance and I was just looking, I see like where you have the driveway on the front, but nothing yet built, so. I had to ask, but
That's okay, I'm sorry. It wasn't more specific.
The only concerns I have is, I get it, you want to put up a 10-foot, I think you need more, but 10-foot, if we allow you to put a 10-foot fence up, a lot of people are gonna want to put 10-foot fences up for privacy. I went up to your house, I see where it's at, I see why you want to put it up. But, you know, if we sit here and give you a 10-foot variance, anybody was gonna want a 10-foot to block their neighbors out. If you need privacy, I'll just make a suggestion. Green giants, they grow quick and they block everything. But as far as, you know, 10-foot fence, you know, there's a reason we don't have them. But, you know, that's up to the board. That's it.
Anybody else? Okay. Bob, anything to add? Okay.
Just one question, sorry. Bob, are there any 10-foot fences anywhere in the township? Commercial or residential? Yeah, I understand
hard to say,
their
yeah,
issue they're dealing with, but that's pretty high.
Yeah. We've had 8-foot approvals.
Right. Okay.
I can't say offhand if I know.
Do you think 8 foot would make a difference?
The 10,
10 won't even make a difference.
He climbs on a ladder and takes videos. I just
All right.
Okay.
You,
All right,
first of all, you're not sworn in, so, all right. Okay. We done or no? Okay, I got you. All right. Anybody from the audience like to come up? Okay, we're not doing the Henkels and, you know, the, McCoys here, all right? So, let's, Hatfields and McCoys, thank you. Henkels and McCoys is an electrical contractor.
Laura Warden. I live next door to these people, Laura. I live next door to them, Wardn. 504 Western Avenue, Bristol, PA. I'm here to say no to them. They have a black tarp hanging on our poles where we can't see, and a sign where we can't even look out our windows in our kitchen. This is not our quality of life that we should be living together in our 66 years and 72 years. We have not done nothing to these people. They're listening to what other neighbors, and we both deny having a 10-foot fence. They have a person on Airport Road that was refused a 10-foot fence, and he's industrial. I don't want my vision blocked because they want to get away with having a junkyard in their yard and scrapping in their yard. And we want to look out our kitchen window and not see all that. That's not fair to us. We've been there 28 years. That black tarp is drilled onto our poles that we put up 28 years ago. I would like to have the township come out with a surveyor to come out and survey that property. That's what I want. I'm not here to complain about them. We don't know him that good, or his wife. They've been listening to what the neighbors are saying. My husband is in jail because of them right now, which isn't fair to me because they want to spend Valentine's Day together, and I would like to too. My husband had 3 strokes and a seizure, and I have stage 3 cancer, and that's not fair to me. I say no to this stupid fence that they want.
Okay,
And if it gets approved, I will take it to Doylestown,
okay,
and I will sue.
thank you. Anybody else? Okay. I need a motion from the board, please. I'll make a motion to approve. I need a second.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Gerard Lycon,
No.
Colleen Dunn,
yes.
Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
There you go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, who's next? Oh, an easy name. Michael and Colleen Bean. Please come on up. Good, Mike?
Okay.
You good?
May I proceed? Good evening. My name is Chelsea Jackman. I'm an attorney with Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. I'm here tonight on behalf of Michael Bean and Colleen Bean, standing here to my left. We are here for their property located at 19 Swan Lane in Levittown, pictured on the screen up here. It is an 8,470 square foot property that is presently improved with a single-family detached dwelling as well as a small shed in the back in the R2 residential district. Michael and Colleen have lived there for over 35 years, purchasing the home in 1989. And with an eye towards staying in that home, they have recently made some improvements on their property. By way of background, they recently completed they built an addition on the rear of the home above a portion of an existing concrete slab patio, and they pulled permits for that, and they completed that without incident. However, they made a minor change to their driveway where they didn't know a permit was required due to the very small scale nature of it, but they heard your warning, Mr. McMahon, loud and clear tonight. The driveway was too narrow for the two cars to park side by side, and Michael was parking his vehicle, as you can see here. Well, this shows the improvement right there, that little line. Michael was parking his vehicle onto the grass. He takes great pride in his lawn, and so he added what was 17 inches in width and 29 feet in length to that side of the driveway. And so while the building didn't increase the impervious surface of the lot, that slight widening of the driveway did. It was a 0.5% increase amounting to about 42 square feet. So this is their home. Again, this is the improvement. Mr. McTague, if you could go to the next slide, please. This is just by way of background. This was the slab of patio back here where the improvement was made. And if you can go to the next one, if you take a look here, you can see this is from a 2022 satellite image. And if you notice, Mr. Bean's car is parked on the side, just kind of angling onto the grass a little bit. And then if you look at 2023, if you see here, he just made it so that he can conform with the rest of the vehicles in the neighborhood where cars are parked side by side. The increase, like I said, is 41 square feet, which is about 0.5% coverage, and this is a de minimis variance request as it allows him to have reasonable use of his driveway and parking his two vehicles. The request is in keeping with the community, and you can see that some of the other driveways in the area are in fact wider than the Beans driveway. There's no reason why this request would be detrimental to Michael and Colleen's neighbors and the neighborhood, or township in general. So I have Michael and Colleen with me here tonight. I'm not sure if they need to be sworn. Ms. Alvario, did they get sworn? Thank you.
Oh, yes, they did.
Thank you.
Can you raise your right hands, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do. Okay. Michael's going to take the lead on this one. Michael, you've heard everything that I've indicated to the board this evening? Yes?
Yes.
And do you understand everything that I said?
Yes.
Do you agree with everything I said?
Yes.
Do you have anything that you'd like to add to the board with regards to your property tonight?
I don't think so.
And do you adopt all of the information I provided to them as your testimony this evening?
Yes.
That's all we have. And if you have any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
I have one. Do you have any utility easements going down that side of your house there between those two homes?
No.
Thank you.
No. Anybody else? Gerard?
I'm good.
Bob? Okay. Anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this application? Okay. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'll second it.
Call the board, please.
Gerard Lycon,
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
Thank you very much.
Permits for everything, right? We
Permits
we
for
established that today, or no?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Property innovations, oh.
sir. House photo, please. Thanks.
We're good.
Okay, good evening. Mike McGinnis from Begley Carlin, here tonight on behalf of Property Innovations GP LLC, the owner of 2709 Avenue E in the township. And if I could, at the outset, I'll have my client, Mr. Stellato, sworn in. And then if it pleases the board, I'll have this also via a proffer and have Mr. Stellato swear and affirm the testimony that is provided and open it up for any questions.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give
I do.
So as I indicated, the property's at 2709 Avenue E in the township. The tax parcel number is 5-19-53. And the subject property is located in the R1 district. It's approximately 0.275 acres. And the property, as you can see, is improved by a single-family detached dwelling. The reason we are here this evening is the construction of a front patio or front porch. And again, I'm sensing a bit of a through line tonight through the various presentations. Acknowledged that this would require, and my client will affirm at the end as a condition of approval, procurement of all necessary permits. The porch was constructed without the necessary permit, which is why we are here, unfortunately. So the property, if you're familiar with it, we have a GIS map, which we can share with the board if they'd like to see, is similar to many of the properties along Avenue E, both in terms of acreage composition, but also with respect to front yard setbacks. There are a number of single-family properties along this particular strip in the township where there is a pretty limited front yard setback. This property backs on a larger piece of land, which is approximately 10 acres. My client owns a contiguous smaller piece of property, which is not before the board this evening. This is being finished by my client personally so that his father can move into the home once the renovation is complete. Mr. Stellato's father is with us as well and can introduce himself to the board if they would like to hear or affirm that statement as being accurate. The site is compliant with all other performance standards in terms of impervious surface, building coverage, and other setbacks. The R1 district requires a 35-foot front yard setback. This property, when you count the porch, which has now been constructed, has a front yard setback of approximately 21.4 feet. That requires a variance from 205-23E. And I think you can see, or hopefully you can see by taking a look at the quality of the work. The front patio, front porch looks very nice. The renovation to the interior of the site is being done in a professional manner. This, at the end of the day, once everything is finished, is going to be, I would suggest, an improvement both to this property and to the surrounding community. So in sum, again, the variance that we're seeking is only with respect to the front yard setback. It is in keeping with a number of the other properties along this particular strip. It's being improved correctly. We are in the process of procuring the necessary permits for the renovation as well as for the porch. And again, we'll condition approval on finalization and a closeout with the township of the permits. As I stated, everything else is compliant, and that is the only variance that we are seeking this evening. So with that, I would like to have Mr. Stellato sworn in. oh, he didn't state his name. So Chad, can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Chad Stellato. Good afternoon, Board. Stellato.
All right, and Mr. Stellato, you are the sole member of Property Innovations GP LLC, is that correct?
That is correct.
And your father would be moving into this property once the renovation is complete, is that right?
That is correct, yes.
And you heard my representation to the township regarding finalization and procurement of all necessary permits, both for the porch as well as for any of the interior renovations of this property, is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, and otherwise you heard the summary that I provided the board this evening?
Yes,
Okay, and would you so adopt that summary as your own testimony if you were to offer it yourself?
yes, I would.
Okay, I have nothing further for Mr. Stellato. We'd happily answer any questions the board has.
So this was not a brand-new build, it's a renovation?
Correct.
Okay, so, okay. The Property Innovations is a company name, correct? Is that so, that's what you do, build houses?
That's correct, yes, I do.
So, keeping with the theme of the night and not having a permit, I just, knowing that you build houses, why?
I got a little excited.
Okay. All right. I'll take that as an answer, I guess. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for the board? No? Gerard?
I stopped out, the place looks beautiful. It really looks good.
Thank you.
Bob? Anything to add? No? Okay. Anybody from the audience? Okay. Let's get a motion from the board, I guess.
I'll give a motion for it.
Need a second.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Gerard Lycon,
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
No.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Good luck.
Okay,
you.
thank you. I'm just trying to make a point.
I know.
All right, next is Jason Kerper, 1310 Edgley Road. Please come on up.
There you go, yep. I have my documentation here that I had posted the property and sent out certified mail, regular mail.
Gotcha.
Bring that up, please.
You have pictures of that property posted, because I didn't see no posted.
Yes, I do. That's the regular mail that went out, here's the certified that went out. I'm sorry.
Here you go.
This is the regular mail that I took pictures of both envelopes. This is a certified date return. Here's the receipts. And then here are both pictures on January 23rd that were posted on the corner lot. Well, it's a parking lot next to ours, so technically it's corner. That's the front and that's the side there.
We're good.
Thank you. Thank you. Whenever you're ready, you proceed.
So I'm looking to have a variance to construct a 4-unit apartment building in the R2 district, which doesn't allow for 4 units. I currently purchased that property prior COVID 2019. I got a variance from you guys back then to allow me to park my construction equipment on that site. Since then, we have grown, and we purchased another property over in Ben Salem and moved the company there with hopes that I could take this property instead of selling it to construct an apartment building to be able to continue revenue for myself and my family in the future as a retirement for myself. Everything that we have submitted to you guys, engineer drawings and architect drawings, all conforms with impervious surface and things like that. The only variance that we require is the zoning for a 4-unit apartment building.
Okay, is that it?
Yep.
Anybody have any questions from the board?
Yeah, I do. Did you get any plans drawn up for building a 4-unit?
I have temporary, well, not temporary, I have preliminary drawings that I submitted to you guys. You should have copies of that, of what the structure will actually look like. I had my architect design it to make it look like a single-family home as best as I could, to kind of conform with the neighborhood.
Because it looks like there might be a parking issue there.
So what we did was there's a current two-bay garage there. That'll have to be removed in order to suffice for parking.
Yeah, I thought that was staying.
No, that's gonna be removed. It's on the engineered drawings to be removed.
Okay. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else?
If granted, have you researched getting capacity letters from both Aqua and I believe that would be bulk sewer for Lower Bucks County Joint Municipal?
So I spoke with Aqua, and they said that that would be okay. The sewer, there is currently a sewer line there, but it has been inactive since the original house was torn down in the 70s, if I'm correct. So that's the only thing I would have to go for next, is to make sure that I can tie in and utilize that existing sewer line.
That would have to go for an additional 4 EDUs?
I'm assuming so, yes.
No,
Okay.
it would.
All right, that's, okay.
Anybody else?
I had a couple questions.
No, go for it.
From emergency management, I was asked about parking.
Okay.
If granted, where would these potential tenants park along the front side? I do see your drawings.
Okay.
However, I do know, like, because it is so close in proximity to the firehouse.
Yes.
Would they be parking directly in front of where their bays are? Like, across the street, but on the other side, on the other side of the street? right?
For the
Where they-
firehouse itself, the parking lot that's adjacent to the property is owned by the firehouse, and that is their property.
I am aware of that, but they're concerned that your tenants may abut up to where their property line is,
Okay.
which would actually decrease their ability to move and maneuver their vehicles in and out, in cases of emergencies.
Well, I'm not too sure on what you're meaning by how my tenants would impede on that, as the parking lot that I have on the drawings suffices for enough parking for my tenants themselves. So they should stay within our property lines with their parking. And with the frontage, I mean, worst case scenario, they can park in front of our property on the street of Edgeley.
So Bob, what determines this being apartments and not townhomes? Is there a determination there, or?
The use he's seeking for is just multifamily, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The
Thank
use he's seeking is multifamily.
I don't know if I have a question or just kind of a concern that you're gonna put apartments in an area where there's all single-family homes, and it's really not in the ordinance for apartments.
Well, the building to the right rear is currently a rental property, which is a duplex. And then there's a ton of commercial near there as well. I did try to notify, I think it's PTG Properties, who owns the property behind us, and they weren't available. Their certified letter got returned. So it won't be the only one in that general area.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Bob, anything to add?
Nothing, Jim, no.
Anybody from the audience? Come on up, sir.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Yep.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Can you state your name and spell it, please?
Brian Bartlett, Brian Bartlett. 1314 Edgeley Road, Levittown, PA. I haven't seen any of these drawings that you guys have, so I have no clue what this thing's gonna look like. I have lots of concerns because my property is lower than his property. And when we had that massive rainstorm last year, my backyard turned into a swamp. So first question I have is, how much of this land is gonna go through and be able to absorb the water? So that way my yard, my basement doesn't become a swimming pool. Secondly, Okay, apparently these drawings have some parking spots in them. How many parking spots? How big are these apartments? Are we gonna be talking, each apartment's getting 2 parking spots, or are they gonna be getting only 1? Because between the church on one side of the street and the fire department on the other side of the street, if these guys are only getting 1 parking spot per place and they have 2 cars, they're gonna be parking on the street. And at some point, that means they're gonna be parking in front of my house, possibly blocking my driveway, in front of my neighbors' houses as well. Again, by not me seeing any kind of designs and not even having a presentation on the screen to give me any leeway of conversation on this, can y'all answer some of those questions for me, please?
Well, we can have Mr. Kerper come out and try to answer the questions for you. But just for the record, what house do you live on the house right next to, on the same street?
Yes, I have the bird's eye view. I look out my window right onto that property
Right.
at any given time.
Okay, all right. If you want to just have a seat, let Mr. Kerper try to answer those questions for you.
He can, if he wants, he can take a look at the drawings Bob has laid out here.
Sir, you can look at these plans here.
So in regards to his water concern, the improvements that are going to be done on the property will require stormwater management. So there will be some sort of relief in some sort of pit designed to allow for any stormwater. Our rain leaders will be led to that, and then that'll hold the water that the property will create from the building. As far as parking spaces, we have more than enough to suffice 2 vehicles per unit. The unit size, roughly, I want to say, is about 1,200 square feet per unit, and it's 2-bedroom apartments on each one. It's going to be sided, roofed. It'll look like a house, just as anybody else. If anything, it'll look like a nice house on that corner property, well, in that corner. So actually, the stormwater improvement that we're going to do will probably help his issues in his yard, because it'll take probably a good portion of his water from his property, with it being lower than ours.
I'm only seeing 6 total parking spaces. Okay, I'm seeing on the drawing, there's only 6 parking spaces, so that means at least 2 apartments are only gonna be allowed 1 car, or are they gonna be parking on the street?
So these are preliminary drawings. They're not finalized and set in stone. Once we got the variance, we can make the final adjustments per the impervious surface. So I have to shrink something, I can do that to make adjustments for that.
And then, one other question I have is this property gonna end up having a dumpster on it for the residents, or is there gonna be using the municipal trash? Because, you know, each one's gonna need multiple garbage cans or whatever.
As far as that's concerned, I'd have to contact Waste Management to see if I can get multiple trash cans, because per the township ordinance, it's only 1 recycle and 1 trash per resident. So with it being a 4-unit, I don't see why that being an issue, that the tenants wouldn't be able to have their own trash cans.
All right.
Your questions answered?
Yeah, it seems to answer what I got.
Okay. Then you heard about the stormwater management that he has to go through, and the
Yes.
township and all that stuff. Okay, all right,
I got one more question.
okay.
The fence that's between the 2 properties, there's a 4-foot and a 6-foot. You put up the 6-foot, you're supposed to have eased back on the part of that 6-foot, you never did. With this new property, what's going on with these fences? Are you gonna to make it just 1 fence? You're gonna take the 6-foot down, you're gonna put up a privacy fence? I'm hoping that, you know, we get a survey done so you know which fences are yours, which fences aren't yours, so we can get this done and make it look decent instead of making it look like a junkyard that it is between the 2 yards.
So currently, we put up a 6-foot chain link fence to protect our construction equipment that we had in there temporarily. We were asked to bring the fence back, but knowing that we were going to go for this in the future, we decided to leave it as is, to then, once we get approval, we can make a decision as neighbors to make a decision on what we're going to do for a fence. I'm on board for whatever you want. If you want to do a white vinyl, 6-foot fence, whatever you want to do to make it more pleasurable for you, I'm fine with. Obviously conforming to what the township will allow us to do.
You can make that a condition if necessary. All right. Is that it, sir?
That's all I got.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else? Do we need a few minutes here? or-
I have one more question.
Yeah.
The request you're asking for is just a use variance,
Okay,
but on your paper here, on your, impervious surface ratios, it says that you're gonna need a variance requirement for that as well.
I was just gonna touch on that, Ed. So, Jay, it might be worth either a continuance or a reapplication, because reviewing it now, you're gonna need, 12 parking spaces on the property, so you might need a parking variance.
Okay.
You cannot accommodate to that, and the impervious surface ratio is over. So
Okay.
you need a variance for both.
okay. So by submitting this is what I was told was the next step to come in for a use. So if that's approved, then I can finalize the drawings, get everything up copacetic, and then reapply for that for the impervious
Or
surface.
do we continue it and bring it all at the same time?
Well, he's gonna have to resubmit an application with additional variances. So, I mean, if that's the way you wanna do it, you wanna do a meeting tonight and see if the use gets approved and then come back with a.
I'd like to do that, because if the use isn't approved, then I'm gonna have to restructure what I'm gonna wanna do with that property. If I'm gonna build a single family, or maybe it's just a duplex. But I know if I can build this, then I can reevaluate what I wanna do there.
Okay. That's your, that's what you wanna do, that's what we're gonna do. All right, anybody else? Everybody good? Need a few more minutes? All right, let's do it. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the application.
All right, I need a second.
I'll second it.
All aboard.
Gerard Lycon,
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
No.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Sorry, buddy.
All right, Jay. All right, so, that being said, before I get a motion to adjourn, make sure, all the members save their, 2 packets, or is this gonna be the one Surfin Carraro, is that gonna be resubmitted as, with different plans?
You'll be getting new plans for both,
Okay,
so you guys
all right.
can.
So just the one, packet for number 5, or number 6 rather, should be saved, all right? So I need a motion to adjourn. No,
I'll
nobody?
make a motion.
For it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.